What do you think? The confrontation between Cyclops and Black Manta, between the destructive light and the darkness of the ocean. Who will win? Cyclops, whose real name is Scott Summers, is one of the founding members of the X-Men. He possesses the ability to release extremely powerful energy beams from his eyes, commonly known as Optic Blasts. This energy has terrible destructive power, enough to tear apart steel or defeat powerful enemies. However, Cyclops cannot control that power and must use ruby-quartz glasses to regulate it. In addition to the ability to shoot energy beams, he is also an excellent tactical leader, leading the X-Men in countless battles for survival. Black Manta, Aquaman's arch-enemy, comes from the ocean. Equipped with high-tech armor and a helmet with laser eyes, he is a super underwater warrior. Black Manta possesses superior physical strength, incredible swimming speed, elite close combat skills, and a modern arsenal from energy knives, plasma guns, to underwater robots. Not only relying on technology, he is also a strategic genius, always knowing how to exploit the weaknesses of his opponents. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button. Please remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Cyclops, a prominent character in the X-Men, is known for his ability to emit destructive optical energy beams from his eyes. As a leader, Cyclops always maintains a calm, steadfast, and clear-headed demeanor. He relies not only on physical strength, but also on intelligence, judgment, and strategy to lead his teammates through the most dangerous challenges. His strength and intelligence have made him an irreplaceable pillar in the X-Men team. The energy beams emitted from his eyes are bright red, shining like swords of light, tearing through space, capable of shaking an entire battlefield. Cyclops can adjust their intensity from quick flashes that temporarily disable opponents to violent explosions that can crush even solid structures. Cyclops is considered one of the most prominent mutants of the X-Men. He is ranked as Alpha, a group of mutants possessing extraordinary powers such as Professor X, Jean Grey, Storm, or Franklin Richards, who were later recognized at the Omega level. In particular, Apocalypse once chose him as one of the 12, gathering the 12 most powerful mutants at that time to exploit their enormous energy source. Cyclops' power is not simply laser beams as many people mistakenly believe. In fact, they are shockwaves of energy coming from another dimension, pouring out through his eyes like an open portal. Those red beams of energy have the ability to crush, penetrate, and destroy anything in their path. He once defeated a giant sentinel with just a single shot, creating a pressure so strong that it could push back Dormammu, disintegrate Mr. Sinister, blew up a mountainside, knocked Mjolnir out of Thor's hands, disabled Bishop's energy absorption, and even suppressed the Hulk's rage during the World War Hulk era. Iron Man once calculated and confirmed that the optical energy beams emitted from Cyclops' eyes had a capacity of 2 gigawatts, a number equivalent to a giant nuclear power plant operating at full capacity. More notably, Cyclops once demonstrated extraordinary ability when, for a short period of time, he contained the entire Phoenix Force within his own body. The Phoenix Force is considered one of the most terrifying cosmic powers, far surpassing even the power of Galactus and the infinite power cosmic energy he possesses. Yet Cyclops was still able to endure and control it. His eyes emitted bursts of light at a terrifying speed, almost immediately upon release. He demonstrated the ultimate level of destruction when he used all his power to defeat Magneto. He proved that he was not only an outstanding leader, but also capable of confronting the greatest threats the world has ever faced. Cyclops possesses a power that if he loses control, he can completely wipe out an entire city in the blink of an eye. Cyclops once created a shot so powerful that it pierced straight through a giant mountain, opening a wide path leading to the other side, leaving a spectacular scene like a red slash carved deep into the mountain rock. He also used his power to cut a giant monster in half, causing Logan to exclaim that Cyclops was like carrying a nuclear bomb in his head. Just a moment of losing control was enough to cause disaster. Cyclops also possesses the ability to control absolute precision. His eyes are like two optical cannons that can adjust their trajectory, focusing or dispersing energy at will. Between the destructive power and perfect precision, he has both a shield and a spearhead in any battle. In terms of destructive power, he can clearly destroy at least large cities and mountains with his beams. Wolverine describes them as nuclear bombs in the head. Of course, he has normal human durability and reaction speed. He is a skilled fighter, more than average, but I would argue that many of his other X-Men teammates are much better at hand-to-hand combat. He is known more for his leadership than being a powerful X-Man, and of course, his love of telepaths. Although Cyclops' powers are sometimes considered less explosive than some other high-level mutants, he has proven himself to be more powerful on multiple occasions. He can unleash energy blasts so powerful that they can knock out weaker versions of the Hulk, even blowing him away with a single shot. Cyclops has also shown the ability to overwhelm Bishop in a matter of seconds, cracking Onslaught's armor, damaging his seemingly impenetrable steel armor, and paralyzing Colossus's organic armor, forcing the giant to stop in the middle of battle. In multiple encounters with supernatural foes such as Morbius and Blade, Cyclops has shown the ability to strike so quickly and accurately that his opponents only have one chance to counterattack before he, or even Dracula, can react. He has also severely damaged older versions of the Iron Man armor, and is capable of slowing and damaging the Scar version of the Hulk. Cyclops' superhuman accuracy makes him an unrivaled marksman. He has been known to hit opponents many times faster than himself, such as Namor, North Star, and Spider-Man. Those red beams of light tearing through the air like fire. Cyclops is a tough opponent. It's like facing a human version of a sniper robot, if that sniper robot could also shoot at the speed of light and was capable of taking you down in a single shot. While he's nothing compared to most superhumans like Spider-Man, he's still quite impressive for someone who lacks superior physical abilities. He regularly goes toe-to-toe with Wolverine, and although Wolverine has more martial arts expertise, they're both capable of physically reacting to each other's melee attacks. This same Wolverine often goes toe-to-toe with the likes of Captain America, only to show him utter disrespect. He also has incredible durability and a high pain tolerance, surviving multiple stabs and blows from an unrestrained Wolverine, being knocked down by Colossus, enduring multiple blows to the head from the Cap shield, and even being hit by an angry superior Spider-Man. He has single-handedly disabled multiple X-Men teams in the past, made a fool of Norman Osborn, while Osborn's team included the likes of Sentry and Ares, pranked the Avengers right under their noses with almost no time to prepare, etc. It is believed that Cyclops' powers are fueled by the sun. There is even a story that Cyclops cannot be exposed to sunlight and must absorb lightning to power his punches. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot, and you are the best. Thank you so much. Black Manta is considered one of the most dangerous and ruthless enemies that Aquaman has ever faced. What makes him different is not only his brutality, but also his superior intelligence and inventiveness. He is the one who created the famous Manta armor, a sophisticated technological work that integrates a series of deadly weapons. This armor allows him to launch missiles with great power, use a jetpack to move flexibly in both air and underwater, and possess the ability to breathe underwater, helping him fight without limits in the deep sea environment. In particular, the glowing eyes on the helmet are where the red laser beams that can penetrate steel and defeat enemies in just a moment are emitted. However, the most terrible thing about Black Manta does not come from technological weapons, but from the cruelty in his soul. He destroyed Aquaman by attacking his young son, known to the fan community as Aqua Baby. Black Manta not only kidnapped the child, but also brutally forced Aquaman to fight his close ally, Aqualad, to get his son back. The battle was intense, but the outcome was tragic. Black Manta killed the child, leaving Aquaman with a deep mental wound that never healed. That moment not only depicted Manta's cruelty, but also shaped the eternal feud between him and the King of Atlantis, turning their confrontation into one of the most persistent and haunting grudges in the superhero world.
Black Manta had a special role in the Forever Evil event, when he, Lex Luthor, Bizarro, Sinestro, and many other villains unexpectedly became the ones to save the world from destruction. Although still cruel and selfish in nature, that action showed that Black Manta was not just a predator under the sea, but also a strategic opponent who knew when to cooperate to achieve a greater goal. However, with Aquaman's tragedy, after Aquababy's heartbreaking death, Aquaman and Mera's relationship collapsed, leading to a bitter divorce, while Aqualad harbored a deep hatred for his former mentor. It was these cracks that made Black Manta feel triumphant, because he knew he had not only destroyed a life, but also destroyed an entire family, sowing conflict and pain for his lifelong enemy. Black Manta went further by destroying Aquababy's burial place, turning that tragedy into an unhealed wound. His original motivation stemmed from his racial beliefs. Black Manta believed that when black people were stripped of their land, he would claim the ocean as a declaration of power for his people. He fought not only with technology and strength, but also with the psychological wounds he created, turning the confrontation between the two enemies into a series of bloody and tragic conflicts. In the New 52, the confrontation between Black Manta and Deathstroke in New Suicide Squad, number 4, pushed them to the brink of life and death. Black Manta, with his high-tech armor and deadly attacks, seemed to overwhelm them, but Deathstroke's coldness and innate killer instinct quickly turned the tables. Deathstroke was still strong enough to deliver a fatal blow to finish Black Manta. Black Manta still could not escape his limits. His death at the hands of a weakened Deathstroke revealed the truth that in this world filled with strong people, there is a new continuity of 52 rebirth. This continuity is close to what we see Black Manta and his father as treasure diggers, hired by a third party to steal information about Arthur's existence. Manta breaks into the Curry house and fights Tom Curry, who later dies of a heart attack. Enraged, young Arthur vows to avenge his father's death. As you can see, there are many reasons given for Manta's hatred of Aquaman, but in the end, he hates Aquaman because he needs it. It's how he defines his existence. Black Manta has always been seen as a seasoned warrior, capable of going toe-to-toe with Aquaman, one of the superheroes. Compared to people like Lex Luthor or the Joker, who have no formal combat training but possess superior intellect, Black Manta, while intelligent, has never reached the level of their strategy or cunning. Instead, he excels in hand-to-hand combat and melee weaponry, especially swordplay, which he honed over years of facing dangerous opponents. His armor is not only a hard steel shield, but also integrates many types of offensive weapons, from red lasers, short-range missiles, to flexible underwater movement systems. Thanks to that, he can create situations that force Aquaman to struggle to respond. Aquaman is also known as the ocean version of Superman, not only because of his overwhelming physical strength, but also because of his extraordinary speed, durability, and adaptability. He possesses impressive strength enough to lift giant rocks, swimming speed far beyond modern submarines, and endurance that helps him withstand the brutal pressure of the deep sea. It is this contrast that turns the battles between Aquaman and Black Manta into tense confrontations, both physically harsh and strategically dramatic, affirming that Black Manta is a worthy opponent that makes Aquaman have to use all his strength. Black Manta is one of the few villains in comics to actually kill a child. Not even the Joker or Reverse Flash did so, but Manta does, and he tries to remind Aquaman as often as possible. Manta once tried to reform. He even cut open a fish until he heard Aquaman was back, and then he killed the guy who started it. He often uses a variety of devices and weapons to suit his plans, including submarines, drones, and other advanced technology. But his combination of technology, fighting skills, and intelligence make him a formidable threat, especially to Aquaman and his ally. A coastal city lit up at night suddenly becomes chaotic when Black Manta suddenly launches an attack to steal top-secret technology from the ocean floor. He appears from the darkness of the waves, wearing armor as black as the abyss, his eyes glowing red like two laser spears, spreading fear throughout the city. In the face of this danger, the X-Men are sent to the rescue, led by Cyclops, the calm commander who always keeps the team stable in the most dire situations. Cyclops, with his optical eyes glowing red, ready to release energy beams that can tear apart the ground, directly confronts the cold Black Manta, who relies on dark technology to gain the upper hand. On one side is a sharp tactical intelligence, knowing how to take advantage of every gap on the battlefield. On the other side is an insatiable ruthlessness, ready to sacrifice everything to achieve his goal. Red energy beams cut through the night, colliding with the laser beam from Manta's armor, creating flashing sparks that reflected on the water's surface, turning the battle into a show that was both majestic and fierce. Cyclops, with a red optical energy beam, rushed like arrows of light tearing through the night. The absolute power and precision in each shot forced Black Manta to immediately activate his energy shield, while increasing the defense of his dark armor to avoid being burned. Not willing to be outdone, Black Manta counterattacked with a series of technological weapons. He deployed underground missiles from under the water, combined with underwater darts that shot up like steel spears cutting through the waves, creating terrible pressure that forced Cyclops to constantly move. His footsteps carved into the sand, his decisive jumps took advantage of every rock and wall to dodge and counterattack. The battle was no longer limited to the shore, but quickly spread deep into the dark water, where Black Manta had an overwhelming advantage thanks to the hydrodynamic movement system integrated into the armor. Black Manta used the dark water surface as a cover, moving flexibly and launching surprise attacks from many different directions. The waves broke with each dash, the sound of the hydrodynamic engine echoed under the sea, making the space tense and unpredictable. Cyclops, with the calmness of a leader who had led the X-Men through countless campaigns, immediately analyzed the enemy's movement trajectory. He predicted each move based on the reflection of light on the water surface, using his sharp observation skills to keep up with the enemy's attack rhythm. When Black Manta opened fire with his plasma weapon, each blue light shot out like energy blades tearing through the water. Cyclops responded with a beam of converging light energy at full power. The red light collided with the blue light, creating explosive energy vortices under the sea, lighting up the dark water like a blazing storm. Although Black Manta had an absolute advantage in this environment, he was still gradually exhausted by the persistent, precise, and relentless attacks from Cyclops. In the rare moment when Black Manta was vulnerable, Cyclops used all his strength to release a powerful beam of light. The shot penetrated the defense, hitting the enemy's armor control system. Sparks flew, the heavy dark armor sank to the bottom of the sea, leaving the battlefield filled with red light that gradually dissipated with the waves, affirming Cyclops' decisive and powerful victory. And Cyclops won.
I hope you enjoy this battle. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's today's video. Thank you very much.